Hello everybody, now we are going to discuss direct and the reverse crank method. The method of the direct and the reverse crank is used in the balancing of radial or V engines. What the use of the direct and reverse crank method? This is used for used in balancing used in balancing of radial or V types engine. V type engine means the shape of the engine is V. Okay, so it is used in the balancing of radial or V engines. Radial or V engines. That is the use of the reverse and the crank method. Okay, now in which the connecting rods are connected to the common cranks, that is we know, which is the general thing that the connecting rod is connected to the crank. Okay, so here, since the plane of rotations of the various cranks in the radial or V engines is same, therefore there is no unbalanced primary or secondary couple. I'm not talking about force, I'm talking about couple. Okay, since the plane of rotation of various cranks, whether in radial engines or V engines, is same, therefore there is no unbalanced primary or unbalanced secondary couple. Okay, when you see this diagram carefully, this is our line of stroke. Okay, this is our crank. That means I'm considering it as a direct crank, primary direct crank. Now let the crank, direct crank, are considered as OC. This is O and this is C. This is our direct crank. Okay, OC is the direct crank. Okay, which is going to be rotated with omega angular velocity. Omega angular velocity of this direct crank OC. Okay, and the unit of the angular velocity is radian per second, and the direction is clockwise directions. Okay, so let any instant the crank make an angle theta with the line of stroke OP. This is our P. Okay, you can consider it as P. So at this instant, direct crank making an angle theta with the line of stroke. We know that this is our line of stroke. Okay, now the direct or reverse crank OC dash. I'm going to consider reverse crank OC dash. This is O and this is C dash. Now you can call it as indirect crank or reverse crank. OC dash is the image of the direct crank. It is just an image of the direct crank about line of stroke. If this is an image of direct crank, it would be at the same angle but in anti-clockwise direction theta, and the angular velocity would be same as direct crank, that is omega. Okay, because this is just the mirror image. This is just the mirror image of the direct crank. Okay, this is known as the reverse crank. I'm going to consider it as this is reverse crank. So the difference between the reverse and the direct crank is that direct crank is rotating in clockwise direction, whether the reverse crank is going to be rotated in anti-clockwise directions, and the angle is also rotated in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, the magnitude is same but the direction is different. Okay, now we are going to consider primary forces. Okay, we are talking about the primary forces. You know that the primary forces and the secondary forces constitute total unbalanced forces. Here I'm talking about the primary forces. We already discussed that the primary forces is mr omega square cos theta. What is the primary forces? We all know that primary forces, primary force is mr omega square cos theta. Yes or no? This is the primary force. Okay. Now this force is equal to the component of the centrifugal force along the line of stroke. Okay, we all know that, because if there is a m mass is attached to this crank, at the end of this crank there will be a centrifugal force mr omega square, so it is nothing but the component of the mr omega square along the line of stroke. Okay, primary force is nothing but the horizontal component, you can say the component of the centrifugal force along the line of stroke. Okay, now this force, this means I'm talking about the primary force. This is nothing but the component, okay, along the line of stroke. So now there is a mass which is going to be attached m at the end of the crank pin. Okay, now let us suppose the mass m of the reciprocating part is divided into two parts, each equal to m by 2. Okay, everywhere you have seen there is a mass m attached at the end of the crank. Okay, now this time, because we are discussing about the direct and the reverse crank method, so let us assume that this m mass is divided into two parts and each one is m by 2. Okay, so when you divide into two parts, m by 2 and m by 2, so it would be like that. There is a mass m by 2 here at this, and at this end there will be a m by 2. Are you getting point? Okay, mass, because the mass is total mass is m. Okay, now we are discussing the primary forces. So we all know that there is a direct crank which is having the total mass m. So we have divided this mass into two parts. That means first half is taken by the direct crank and the second half is taken by the reverse crank. Okay. Now when you calculate the primary direct and the reverse crank force, what I am going to say, when you calculate this time the primary direct, when you calculate the primary direct force, that would be equal to m by 2 r omega square. Okay, this would be the primary direct force. This is the centrifugal force. When you take the component along the line of stroke, it would become m by 2 r omega square cos theta. Okay, because primary force is the component of the centrifugal force along the line of stroke. Okay, so primary direct force becomes m by 2 r omega square cos of theta in the direction of op, that means the line of stroke. Now the component of the centrifugal force acting on the primary reverse crank, you will get primary reverse force. Primary reverse force would be equal to what? Primary reverse force. What is the difference between the direct and the reverse? There is nothing different when I'm talking about the formula. Okay, that is m by 2 r omega square, because radius, omega and theta, everything is same, just the direction is changing. Okay, and the magnitude is changed. So when you find out the total component of the centrifugal force along the line of stroke, that means when you calculate the total force, you will get the primary force, because the primary force consists of primary direct force plus primary reverse force. So total, you just have to add both of them, you will get the primary force, that is nothing but the mr omega square cos theta. So hence for primary effects, the mass m of the reciprocating parts may be replaced by two masses at C and C dash, each of magnitude m by 2. Okay, we have divided mass at C and C dash. Okay, so this is the primary direct force and the primary reverse force. Okay, similarly, we have to see secondary forces. What about secondary forces? Now we have to see the secondary forces calculations. Suppose this is our primary direct. Okay, either you can consider, but I'm just explaining it in this diagram, so don't consider the separately. This is our secondary direct crank, secondary direct crank. Okay, and let us that this is the secondary reverse crank, secondary reverse crank, which is just the image of the direct crank. Okay, because this is secondary, we all know that if the primary crank is at theta angle, the secondary would be at 2 theta. We all know that. So this angle would be 2 theta for the secondary configuration, and this is the reverse, so it would also be 2 theta angle. Okay, and we know that if the speed of the primary crank is omega, so it would be 2 omega. We know that the speed becomes twice. Okay, and this is r by 4n, and this would be also r by 4n. Radius would be same for both. Okay, but the speed would become twice. Okay, so we are just calculating the secondary forces. So we all know that this would be the m by 2 for direct secondary crank, and this would be m by 2 for secondary reverse crank. Okay, the angle is same, 2 theta and 2 theta. Now we have to calculate the forces. So when you calculate secondary direct force, so what would be the formula? How can you calculate? Secondary direct force would be equal to what? First, you need to understand the secondary force formula. And the difference between the direct and the reverse is you just have to divide the mass into two parts. That is m by 2. Okay. So this would be m by 2 r omega square, and there is, you can write it as mr omega square cos of 2 theta by n. Since the mass is half for the direct crank, so that's why m by 2 we have considered. Similarly, secondary reverse force would be equal to what? Reverse force, that is also equal to m by 2 r omega square cos of 2 theta by n. Okay, I hope you are getting my point. If I ask you the radius of secondary crank, so it would be r by 4n. We all know that r by 4n. Why we have not written here r by 4n? Because I have not considered speed as 2 omega, because we all know that we just have multiplied r in numerator as well as denominator in order to change the radius and the speed of the crank. Okay, I just have written in the simplest form. Okay, so that is the secondary direct force and the reverse force. When you if you want to calculate the secondary force, total secondary unbalanced force, you just have to add both of them, you will get the secondary unbalanced force. So this was the reverse crank and the direct crank method. Okay, we will do the numerical questions, because on this topic the numerical question is going to be asked. And why we have used this direct crank and the reverse crank method? Actually, this technique is basically applied in the multi-cylinder radial engine just to determine the primary and the secondary unbalanced force along with their magnitude and the direction. Okay, you can see here we can calculate the magnitude as well as the direction. Okay, so I hope you will understand this topic carefully, and we will do the numerical question, conventional question we will do, so it would be easy to understand, because in on this topic there is a numerical question which is going to be asked many times. Okay, so thank you.